Oh, hey. Can we talk Pandemic for a second? It's a game I really, really like, and it's my wife's absolute favorite game. I mean, we got the original edition from Z-Man, and then we got the expansion. And then when Z-Man announced, hey, if you want to keep getting expansions, you have to get the new edition of the game, we got the new edition of the game. For a while, all of the stuff fit into one box, which is great, up through, I guess, the In the Lab expansion. Very nicely. In fact, the In the Lab insert is one of the nicest designed inserts I've seen. It fit everything. Lovely. It was wonderful. Then they announced state of emergency, and now we have to fit Pandemic in two boxes, like with a rubber band held together. I can't fit it all in one box, and I find that annoying. It's annoying. Not to mention the fact that, I mentioned this is my wife's favorite game. She keeps getting add-ons. So we've got the Maple Source character meeples. I think there's some research stations in here that she ordered for that. Not to mention the Litco version of the same thing. You've got added character meeples, virus meeples, all sorts of stuff. Frankly, it's a mess. So I'm hoping that this product fixes that. This is the Broken Tokens Biohazard Containment Unit. It is a wooden crate that doesn't fit into the existing box. It actually is its own structure that says it holds all of Pandemic. Now, I know I'm not going to get all of the different versions of our character meeples in there, but at least it should hold one set of everything. Will it? Let's find out. The crate arrives unassembled as 5 sheets of laser-cut wood and a few assorted extra pieces. The pieces are all clearly identified on this single sheet of assembly instructions. It took me about an hour to assemble. While the wood is solid, it could snap if you push it in the wrong direction, so I was being extra careful punching the pieces out. The manufacturer recommends gluing any loose joints, which I had to do maybe a half dozen times. Most of the connections were tight and only needed a little bit of extra persuasion to come together. Overall, it's about the complexity level of putting together a piece of IKEA furniture. And here's the final product. The outer case has a biohazard symbol on the top and 2 sides, plus easy carry handles on the other 2. Inside, the boards and instructions go on the top, and convenient trays hold the other components. These 3 pull-out trays hold the Petri dishes and colored discs. This carrier holds the vials from the In the Lab expansion. A handy organizer holds the miscellaneous bits and tokens. And this card organizer with adjustable slats keeps the various decks sorted just the way you want them. My favorite component is this pawn organizer with a plastic display shield that keeps the pawns in place even if you flip it upside down. Don't try that with the entire crate, however. While everything is neatly organized right side up, there is enough play inside the box for small components to go everywhere if you tip it over. This took a while to sort out. So what about those nifty tokens from Litco and MeepleSource? The disease tokens are easy because they simply fit in the same Petri dishes that the cubes do. This is probably a good time to mention that this unit is designed for the 2nd edition of Pandemic and won't fit the larger Petri dishes from the 1st edition. That wonderful pawn display tray is a different story, however. The meeples are just barely too thick for the cover to close over them. I have been told by the Broken Token that assembling this tray without the pawn-shaped divider will allow enough room for the larger pieces. The same goes for the Litco pawns, though I think the bases may still be too wide even without the divider. That's not a huge problem though, because there's enough space in the card tray to store whatever custom components you'd like. I plan to keep the pawns in the display case and put the meeples inside the extra slot. Overall, the Biohazard Containment Unit fulfills its promise of holding the entirety of Pandemic, with even a little room to spare. If, like me, carrying around 2 Pandemic boxes is making you sick, this organizer is the cure. Use as directed. Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.